Today I got my other tools in from the Flexarm that I was waiting on. So what I'm planning on doing today, our little project, is going to be getting my big 8-inch Kurt vise mounted. I also have a Reed bench vise there that I'm going to get mounted on that end as well. This is that's something that I wanted to put down there for use for just holding general things on that side. So let's show you what we got going on. These are the two tools that I was missing out of my kit right here, and they just come in today. So this is the number 2 to number 4 adapter for this size tool right here. So I've got the holders in this size from 5/16 up to 1/2 inch. So this is one that I want to use today. So this is the adapter that you have to use to go from 2 to a 4. It fits in there like that. You just line up the keys and then push it down in there, and the ball bearings in there actually keep it contained, actually captures it in there. All right, so we're going to be using that. This is the other tool that came today as well. This is the magnetic spindle alignment tool right there. So you just stick this guy up into the spindle of the Flexarm, and this is a pretty darn strong magnet right there. So what you do is you put that in there, and then you take your Flexarm and then you use this magnet to line up on your work surface there. So I've actually already done that. I stuck it to this part of the jaw, or this part of the vise, the vise bed, and then you've got this bolt right here, then you've got this bolt right here, and this controls the tilt of the Flexarm head there as well. You also have a rotational in this model there, so you can go horizontal. There's another bolt that's up inside there. You can see this guy right there. So if you want to tap in a horizontal position, come in sideways, you can actually loosen that and swivel this gear motor around sideways, line it up, tighten it up there. So we've got it in line now, at least lined with this part of the vise. So we're going to go ahead and get the holes drilled. I'm going to use my mag drill. We'll bring that in here. I'm going to punch. This is where I figured I wanted this vise right here. I wanted a little bit extra room next to it. So, you know, if you got things like wrenches and hammers and you're over here just working on a vise, you know, you got a place right there to set some tools off out of the way. You've got to be in a comfortable position so that you can take the Flexarm and pull it out some, and then be able to come down for your tapping. All right, so this is a good spot right there. I also did not want this vise sticking way out. I could drill holes so that you could pull it out and mount it, you know, when you want to use it, but I'd rather just be here ready for me whenever I want to do some tapping and not have to bolt this thing down. So I've got it just to where I can take my let's see, it's a 7/8, just for, you know, quickly moving the jaw in and out. You can put the 7/8 wrench on there, tighten it up. I've also got the big handle for it there as well. So we're going to get this mounted, and this is another vise that I want to mount right there. This is the Reed number 203.5, and it's a super sweet little bench vise. It's got the smooth jaws in there, so you don't have to worry about, you know, damaging, marring up work pieces there. This is one that I found back when we were picking up in Ohio, Kentucky, but I don't remember exactly where I got it now. But it was just like you see. It's in real good shape. I would like to one day take it outside and just wire brush it real good. We'll do some filing there just to kind of clean up those little hammer marks. But just give it a fresh little paint job and re-grease everything, and then remount it in here. But for today, we're going to go ahead and mark our holes. Got our center punch, and we'll punch our holes. We're going to use the Flexarm to tap those 4 holes. We'll use the Flexarm to tap these 2 holes. And unfortunately, I would love to use it for these guys right here, but it will not quite reach. The head will get to about right here, and it just won't quite line up. So these I'll still have to do by hand. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started and get this thing mounted up and see it work for the first time. I've got the Kurt vise squared up to the table right there, and we're going to use this 7/8 diameter transfer punch. I'm just going to eyeball it sort of in the center of the slot here. we'll go ahead and get these forward mounted as there as well. I've got the base right where I want it, and we'll do these for half 13. All right, here's my mag drill that we're going to use. So I've got a center point down here in the drill chuck that I'll just line up on that punch mark. Now you just run it down in there and just kind of wiggle it. All right, mag switch is over here on that side. You just turn it on and now it's there. So that'll line up on that punch mark. I'm going to adjust this little support arm in the back there. I'll drill a pilot hole first with a 5/16 drill bit, and then we will go in with my tap drill wherever I set it down. Well, I set it down somewhere. Here it is over here. Tap drill will be 21/32, and then we're going to tap it 3/4 10. That thing is loud, so I like using my earplugs anytime I use these power tools. Find my other earplug. That one I didn't hit good, so I'm going to redo it. Looks better. Whenever I'm using these larger drill bits, I fluctuate the switch on and off just to keep the kind of surface speed down a little bit, because I don't want to run that drill as fast as that thing's spinning the whole time. So these four, we're going to go ahead and just drill it right with our tap drill, 27/64. start with our half 13 holes first. So this is the adapter or the tap holder for a 1/2 inch tap. And the way these work, the centerpiece, you push that in to actually release the tap. So just to install it, you just stick it in there and just push it in. Line up the square shank there. It's broached to fit the square up inside, and so to release that, you just push the center point down and pull it out. It's got some ball bearings in there that actually capture it, and I believe what they're doing is they're cammed in there, so as this is trying to pull out, the ball bearings are actually rolling into the shank of the tap, making it tighter, allowing it not to pull out. So all right, we've got it gauged on the square there. So this is the adapter that we were looking for, that we were missing. So number 2 to a number 4, this fits directly up into the machine. So you just simply stick it in there like so, and the ball bearings just keep it installed. So this is ready to go into the machine and start tapping our very first holes. Same thing here, just line up the keys and push it up in there, and this sleeve will drop down and it locks it in place. And when you want to go to pull it out, you just grab this sleeve with your hand, push it up, and it releases the ball bearings, allowing the tool to come back out of there. What do you say we go ahead and tap some holes? This is going to be our very first tap holes using the brand new Flexarm. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up. And we're going to use gear 2. I've got it in gear 2. You have to hit validate and then start. And it is ready to go. So here's we'll go ahead and run it, dry run. So we got the 2 switches up here. You've got forward and reverse. So you've also got variable speed on this. That's these 2 guys right here. So I'll go ahead and go forward, and you can see. Same thing with reverse. All right, so we'll use those right there, and we'll go ahead and get started. Let's do our first one. I'm just going to use a little bit of cutting oil here. Get the tap started. I'm using a gun tap, so I'm just looking for the chips to clear the bottom. And we're ready to come back out. Okay, there we go. There's our very first tapped hole. All right, we'll come over here and I'll do it again. Getting a little bit of cutting oil on it. So just line it up in the hole and hit the trigger. All right. It is a lot faster and easier than doing it manually with a tap wrench. Tight. There we go. Check this other one. Yep. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get these other 2 tapped now. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and set up our 3/4. For this one, I've got this spiral flute tap that we'll use to tap these holes right here. So here's our 3/4 tap holder. It's a close fit. There we go. And then this is the 3 to 4 adapter. All right, and we'll come over here. Take that tool out. And we'll put the 3/4 in. There we go. Line up on the hole and hit go. I like it. That is cool, man. Been waiting a while to be able to do that. I did want to point this out too. I forgot to mention that this is a stop. So if you want to, stop your tapping at a certain position, that shuts it off. So you just adjust it. You just bring it down wherever you need to and tighten it up. So for bottom tapping or going to a certain depth. Bring it back up. Make sure I don't hit it. All right. There we go. Let me clean it out and we'll check the fit. Just like it's supposed to. Look at that. Man. Check this in here. Yeah, perfect fit in those threaded holes there. All right. We're ready to start mounting our vices up now. All right, let's get the vices mounted up here. Making sure there's no chips underneath this. I've been cleaning it as I go so that I'm not scratching the bottom of my vise here. Looks pretty good there. Let's get the front of it kind of squared up. That's how I had it, right on the front side. All right. This is going to be my go-to vise for using the Flexarm when I want to tap something. Since I've got 2 of these vices here, and I've got my TMX mounted on the mill, so this is going to be the one that's going to just stay up here whenever I need it all the time, really. And we'll be able to mount our work pieces and do our power tapping right here. Should be a good workstation for it if I'm doing something repetitive. Be able to come right up here to the vise and then just reach over and grab the handle, pull it over, do our tapping, and just push it back out of the way right there. All right, time to mount our cool little reed bench vise now. This is one of those Icon ratchets that I bought from Harbor Freight. I was needing some new ratchets, so I picked up a 1/4, 3/8 and ½ inch drive, and I'm going to use them. They got the real fine gear in there for better movement, really, positioning. All right, we are mounted up. We are in business now. I love this little vise. It's such a clean little vise here that wasn't abused. It's got the nice lock on it there. It's got the little grooves in the bottom. Works just very pleasantly. And we got the smooth jaws in there, so if I got something over here I don't want to mar up with some serrated jaws, I can just easily come right over here and use it. So excited that I finally got the Flexarm mounted up, got it wired in and going, and also seeing this thing mounted now so that we've got us an actual work area. We can bring our parts and our jobs over here, clamp it in the vise, and do our tapping. So I got one project over on the mill. I've got one hole that I need to tap in it, so we'll do that, use the Flexarm. And I'm really excited about trying some of those larger size taps. As I said in my previous video, I actually need to get me some more taps, get some of those spiral fluted. So I'm going to be making an order pretty soon. That way I've got a nice range taps that I can use on hand and ready to go. And I might take a couple blocks of steel and go ahead and drill them on tap size and come over here and we'll do some sample tapping with the larger taps. All right. Okay, we've got another viewer submitted project here that we're going to work on and attempt to see if we can fix. I believe this is a carburetor, you know, like the Edelbrock. I believe it's the same style as an Edelbrock, but I think it's a Carter. So anyway, the air mixture screw right here has broken off in this side. This one has, you know, that one was able to come out, but this one broke off. He asked me if I could possibly try to get that out. This belongs to, let's just call him Keith from Tennessee. I told him to send it down and see if we can get it out of there. So all day today I've been soaking it with some of this knocker loose. I've been spraying it in there, and then I've actually I flipped it over the other way because the pinhole comes through, and I've been trying to soak it, get it in that pinhole so that it kind of fills that cavity up. This is what the mixture screw looks like. That probably come out of that side right there. It is a 1032 screw. I verified that by measuring it, checking it with the pitch gauge, and then we took a 1032 tap and ran it down in that side right there. So I don't know how deep it goes in there. I don't know how far it snapped off inside there, but I have been trying to soak it to maybe get it to break loose. So we'll go and set it up in the do-all mill there, probably just bolt it up to an angle plate, and see if we can come in there and maybe use our left-handed cutting tools and make that thing back out of there. There's the back end of the hole right there. You can see it. That guy right there. So I've been continuing to squirt the penetrating oil in there, the knocker loose, trying to get it to really, hopefully just aid in trying to get this bolt out of there if we can get in there and get it to crack loose and spin out of there. This is my left-hand drill set, and the 1/8 drill right here was pretty well messed up, so I went over on the grinder and touched it up again. So we'll give this guy a try to see if we can get that screw to back out. I've got some more right here. These are some metric left-hand drills that somebody had given me. Got that small one right here that we might be able to use, and the camera's not focusing again, so we'll just go ahead and start getting her set up. I've got it set up in the mill. I believe we're ready to start doing our drilling there. So we just used an angle plate there, got it bolted down an angle plate. I've got a couple clamps up here at the top, and then I was able to get one of my parallel clamps on the bottom to make sure that the bottom was sucked in against the angle plate. What I'll do is I'm going to use a 3/16 diameter end mill to get centered up on this bolt here, or the screw, and I'll also use this end mill to create a flat there, make the end of the bolt flat. That way your drills and everything will line up and not try to walk off there, but we'll get it flat, divot with a center drill, and then we'll go in with our drill bit and see if we can get it to pop loose. All right, so I'm using the end mill to just try to eyeball the center of the screw there. I turn the flutes in the x-axis orientation like that, and then I'll turn it in the y-axis orientation, and then come around here to the side and look at it and see if I'm off one way or the other, which I am. That screw just looks bigger. I'm wondering if this is a bigger screw than that one, because this just looks bigger to me. I don't know if that's the case or what's going on here. I'm going to go ahead and use that 3/16 though to continue what I'm doing as far as getting it centered up and establishing a flat for our drill bits to line up on. So just trying to make sure that I'm there. Alright, we're going to go for it right there. I'm going to zero out the DRO. Maybe you guys can see that. I sure hope. I've got a lot of light flooding down in here. So we just want to make a flat there, just like that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and swap out my tool, and I'm going to put a center drill in there so that we can create a divot for our drill bit to follow. Alright, just like that right there. Alright, now let me get my left-hand drill bit. Put that in there. Alright, so I got the 1/8 left-hand drill. The other thing to remember, when you're going to use a left-hand drill to try to remove a broken bolt, always turn your speed way down. So I've actually got it in 135 RPM. You really don't want to drill it with this drill. You want it to dig down in that bolt, catch it, and try to pop it loose. So that's the goal here. So we are ready to go for it, okay? Make sure you're focused. I don't know if you're focused in there. Let me see. It's about the best I can get it. Here we go. It's certainly not wanting to grab it. And I'm pushing down pretty hard. See, it's doing what I don't want it to do. It's trying to drill it out of there. I want it to catch it. Let me think about this. Well, my backup thought was to maybe use one of my Blue Point screw extractors. This was my granddad's. The problem is that the small size that I need for this is actually not in the case. This is the number 2 size, which is the next size up. And drilling it out really is not going to do me any good. But these are designed so that you drill a pilot hole. It looks like a spline, and then you have these caps, these hex caps that go over it like that. They slide down. So you drill the hole, and then you tap these down in there so far, and then you put the hex cap over there, and then use a wrench to try to back it out. These actually kind of bite in, and they don't apply a bunch of side pressure like a traditional ease out would. But as I said, I don't have the right size, so I can't use that. So I think I'm going to have to just continue trying to drill it with the drill bit right here, and just trying to drill all of it out. Maybe if I get a hole down through there, I will attempt with a small easy out to see if I can get it to break loose. But typically, if your drill won't make it bust loose, an easy out isn't going to do that either. Keep going down here. I'm going to try to push a little harder, see if I can get it to grab. It's not wanting to. Boy, that sucker is froze up in there solid. It's trying to come through the back. Yeah, there it is. Just went all the way through there. So the little needle point is down inside the hole now. Just gonna have to drill it out. I'm gonna use the center drill to go ahead and chamfer the rest of that broken screw out to the edge. Not like that. You can see the rust in there. penetrating oil is helping us on this job here. I did not want to apply any heat to this either because of the aluminum being very thin there. I just didn't want to soften, risk soften the metal up. Really hoping it was just going to crack loose and unscrew on us. This is our tap size, so I think I'm just kind of drilling it out now. I'm looking to see if we're even. It appears I'm pretty well in the center. I can kind of see the thread showing. I didn't have any luck, getting it out. I went ahead and drilled it tap size. I think I got most of the bolt out of there. So I'm going in there with a tap now, with hopes that we're actually going to finish cleaning out what's left of that screw. Alright, that's as far as we can go right there. May have to take it out of there and really blow it out to be able to see what's going on down in that hole. I feel like part of that, the little needle tip of the end of the screw is still down in there. I'm not sure though. Threads look good. We lined up on them nicely. I don't know, we might have done something there. There's you a better angle so you can see the tapped hole that we just cleaned out. It actually looks really nice. I'm just going to go ahead and pull it out of there and see if I can tell if we got all of the screw out. We might have gotten lucky there. I've got you zoomed in on where the needle portion of that screw comes through, and you can see the needle right here sticking out. So hopefully I can pop that thing through into the hole and get it to fall out the other side. So I need to get in there and push on it. Let's see. There we go. All right, I got it pushed in, and let me see if I can get it to fall out of there. There it is, right there. That's the rest of the screw, and you can see where the drill. Yep. You see where I was drilling on it? I think we got lucky on that right there. I'm going to save that. I got a little bag that I put my broken bolts in. Actually, I'll show it to you. Let me move this over. I got a little. I should have started this so long ago, but I've only had this a couple years. But these are all broken bolts that I have gotten out of holes. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that little guy down inside there. This is one I like right there. Look at that. It's like a little slinky. I'm going to put the tip of that in my little baggie. And one more for the lifetime collection of remote broken bolts removed. So I'll go ahead and take this back down. I'll go ahead and blow that hole out. Yeah, I can look down in there and see. I don't know if you can, if I can get it lined up, but there you go. So I think we did good. I think we accomplished our mission there, and we've got this carburetor, although it's sure looks like it needs a little bit of work done to it. I had considered maybe asking him if he wanted me to soak this in evapor rust, but I didn't want to take a risk on messing anything up, anything else that could be wrong. I know that you're not supposed to put magnesium in the evapor rust, and I don't know if they got any magnesium in this or not. So anyway, our job is done. We got the broken screw out of there, so I'm going to get ahead and send it back to the customer. All right.